Very good morning, dear students. So, today we are going to discuss the next topic mentioned in this unit, microbial degradation of xenobiotic, that is the degradation of synthetic polymers. In the previous class we have discussed the biodegradation of recalcitrant and nitroaromatic components. Okay, the recalcitrants such as hollow hydrocarbons, and we have discussed the microbial role, especially co-metabolism and gratuitous degradation. And another important polymers that has a lot of importance in the environmental system, that is synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers are a part of human life every day, and due to the uncontrollable dumping of such kind of waste materials, the synthetic polymers constitute a lot of environmental issues and pollution. There are conventional methods for the degradation of this kind of polymers. Okay, but all these conventional methods are having their own shortfalls and lacunae. That is why where microbiology or microbial biotechnology, environmental microbiology plays a vital role for the detoxification of such kind of components. So that is what we are going to discuss in this particular class, the biodegradation of synthetic polymers. As you all know, synthetic polymers are derived from petroleum products, which are commonly studied since the long time, and a lot of research work, especially biotechnological research works, are conducted in this particular system. And there are a lot of examples such as nylon, polyethylene, polyester, Teflon, okay, epoxy polymers, etc., and which are commonly present. In addition to that, natural polymers are also present. They are water soluble. Okay, so and but the man-made xenobiotic components are non-biodegradable substance. Okay, that is what we are going to focus. Non-biodegradable substance. Synthetic polymers are also non-biodegradable substance. And as I mentioned, synthetic polymers are mainly human-made polymers, that is, they are derived from petroleum oils, and based on their utility, these polymers can be classified into three main groups. Number one, thermoplastics. Next one is elastomers. Next one is synthetic fibers. Okay, so these are the major important methods, major important types of synthetic polymers. And these thermoplastics are the plastic has a high thermal stability. Okay, the plastic polymers has a high thermostability. Thermoplastics and thermosettling plastics are the two important classes of such kind of plastics. The elastomers are the plastic in which the polymers in which they are elastic in nature, and the synthetic fibers are the major types of polymer that contaminating in the ecosystem. Their fiber long chain polyalkanes are commonly present. And the nature also, there are a lot of polymers. Such kind of polymers are present in honey, glue, etc. These are also polymers, but they are not having that much of environmental impact because they are not contaminating too much the ecosystem. But xenobiotics are not like that. They are having major concern. Okay. Then the next one is the major next important point is why these particular components are resistant to degradation, like we have discussed in the hollow hydrocarbons. And these particular components in their backbone of common synthetic polymers such as polythene, polystyrene and polyacrylate. Okay, and all those compounds has carbon-carbon bond. Okay, where the hetero chain polymers, there are examples such as polyamide, polyesters, polyurethane and polysulfides and polycarbonates, they have additional elements such as oxygen, sulfur and nitrogen that also present in the backbone. So especially the nitrogen, we have already discussed the nitroaromatic components. Okay, so sulfur, they are having a lot of sulfur is present, then that will be lot of it will be lot of problems will be the stability of the compounds will be very high. Then the household synthetic polymers are very common contaminants in the synthetic polymers, such as nylon, okay, in textiles, okay, and fabrics, okay, Teflon that can be used in non-stick pans that is commonly used in the kitchen. Then the bakelite, we can see that is commonly used in electric switches, making of electric switches. And polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC, commonly you know that is commonly used in pumps, okay, or pipes. Then similarly, the common types of plastic bottle, polyethylene, okay, they are made up of synthetic polymers, polyethylene terephthalate are the major important one, okay, and other synthetic polymers are also common. Then this synthetic polymers, depending upon their relevance, there are mainly different types, okay. The major one is the plastics, okay. So the plastics, the major one is plastic. They are low density polyethylene and high density polyethylene, LDPE and HDPE, okay. The next one is polypropylene, PP. Next one is polyvinyl chloride, PVC. Next one is polystyrene, PS, okay. Then in addition to that, you are having nylon 6 and nylon 6,6, okay. Then another one is known as polytetrafluoroethylene, okay, that is Teflon, okay, TEFE, okay, that's Teflon. Next one is TPU, that is thermoplastic polyurethane, okay. These are some of the major types of synthetic polymers that is commonly contaminating in the ecosystem, where conventional approaches, okay, chemical and physical methods are not sufficient to degrade this kind of polymers, okay. So that is why we require the microbial biotechnology approaches. Then these are some of the uses, okay, that you are very much familiar, okay. The low density polyethylene, okay, they are chemically inert, okay, flexible, and they can use as an insulators, or the squeeze bottles, toys, flexible pipes, okay, insulation covers, etc. can be made, okay. Next one is the high density polyethylene, okay, that is inert, thermally stable, okay, that is tensile strength is very high. We can use coax, cables, okay, pipes, bottles, etc. And polypropylene, they are highly resistant to acids and alkalis, okay. Then we can use the industrial fibers, food containers, okay, liners in bag, dishwares and other materials. And the polystyrene, that is thermocol, that is thermal insulators properties. Their properties are mainly depending on the form, expanded in their form, and they can expand tough to rigid. We can use microbiology, petri dishes can be made, okay, CDKs, then plastic materials can be made. Then polytetrafluoroethylene, PTFE, okay, that is very low coefficient of friction, excellent dielectric properties, which are chemically inert, okay, and we can use for the non-stick pans, coax cables, okay. We can see that is HDPE also, it is commonly present, okay, that can be also used. Then next one, coating chemicals, okay, coating material. Next one, PVC, okay, and polyvinyl chloride, that is main usage is insulators, flame retardant, okay, chemically that are highly inertive, okay. Then we can use it as a pipe, fencing, curtain cloths, okay, rain cloths, flooring, etc. we can use, okay. Then trifluoroethylene, okay, PCTFE, they are very stable and in the thermal attack, high tensile strength and non-wetting, okay, valves, seals and gasket we can use, okay. for this particular what is their use. Although they have a lot of uses, okay, these components are having a tremendous problems in the ecosystem. If they accumulate, it directly enters in the food chains and food web and contribute the biomagnification. So that is why we are very much bothered about this kind of components. And you know that the major mechanism, that is enzymatic degradation. The microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi and actinomyces and some algae, they are having lot of enzymes they can secrete, and this enzyme can utilized for their degradation, okay, enzymatic degradation. And we have already discussed the mechanism in the previous class, mineralization, okay. So degradation of a component and become completely fragmented into pieces, okay. Then fragmentation, many low toxic component, high toxic components will be converted into low level toxic components. Next one is gratuitous degradation, okay. We have already discussed the gratuitous degradation and co-metabolism, okay. All the things we have discussed. The mechanism is the same here also, okay. So this is what I wanted to tell. And what are the steps, what are the major steps that is required for the microbial degradation of this kind of synthetic polymers that is commonly done by microbial flora. Number one, the microorganism, we can see the flow chart, okay. The microorganism can be used, the bacteria, actinomyces and fungi, okay, and they can secrete the extracellular enzymes, okay. I told you lipases, alkaline phosphatases, such kind of an enzyme they can secrete, and that enzyme, the adherence of enzyme to the plastic surfaces or similar type of synthetic polymer surfaces, okay. And what they will do, they will cleave the polymer chain into fragments, okay, and the long chain polymer chain will be fragmented by this microbial activity. Then next one, what will happen in the case of plastic, the plastic surface will be erode, okay, erosion of plastic surface will be happening. All the debris, small minute debris will be broken down into the due to the attack of microbial basis, okay. That is one of biodegradation, degrading the complex toxic component by using microorganism. And what will happen, the long chain polymers, such a kind of a toxic long chain polymers, this activity will be converted into end products such as carbon dioxide, water and methane, okay. Even methane can be used as an end product. Sometimes hydrogen also will be produced, and this methane and hydrogen can be used as a valuable end product. You know that methane and hydrogen, they are biogas products, okay. We can use that particular components for the formation of synthesis of biogas. And this is what I have told. This is a recently published paper which I have taken, okay. So here you can see this is the plastic polymer, okay. This is the plastic polymer, and you can see these are the microorganisms, okay. So these plastic polymers which are incubation of that is a commonly polymer that is commonly present in soil, okay. And how they have seen this one, by using electron microscopy, scanning electron microscopy, they have seen this, and they could see that the microorganism going and colonizing to surface of this particular plastic. This is the individual microorganism. There is a colony of microorganism in their surface of the polymer. And what will happen, this enzymatic activity will cleave the plastic polymer. The depolymerization will be taking place, okay. That there will be depolymerization will be taking, the polymers will be depolymerized, okay. And this depolymerized polymers will be utilized by microorganism, okay, in the form of carbon dioxide, okay, will be utilized, because carbon, they will be utilized as a carbon component, okay. And what will happen finally, these are this microorganism. What is this? I can show you this nut shaped things are, that is enzymes. The microorganism produce the enzyme, and that enzyme will be able to degrade these components, and you can see that microorganisms are able to degrade this plastic polymer. They can take it into inside the bacterial cell, okay. So here is a polymer, and this is the bacteria, and this is the enzymes, okay. And this particular, how will you able to see that this particular product is produced? If you look for techniques such as nuclear magnetic resonance, you will be able to, you can see. Similarly, the carbon dioxide generation you can quantify, okay, by circular, CRDS you can study, okay. Then similarly, this is a surface. You can analyze by some other methods also. Here I told you not only bacteria, even fungi also can come. Okay, this is a fungal hyphae. Okay, so this is the method, this is the way in which how microorganisms are playing a very vital role for the degradation of such kind of a complex polymers. Okay, that is very important. Now I will take one simplest example as a plastic, because that is very common in the ecosystem, how plastic is getting degraded. Okay, here you can see this is the soil. Okay, here is the plastic system. Okay, and here you can see it is broken. How it is broken? That is what the interesting thing here. Okay, so here you can see the surface erosion, what I will told. Okay, so the microorganisms are attached to the plastic system. Okay, the plastic film. Okay, and what will happen? They produce the extracellular enzymes. Okay, they produce the extracellular enzymes. And what is this? This particular plastics will be having long chain polymers. Okay, then this enzyme attached to the surface and cleave the polymer chain. The enzyme hydrolyzes, lipases, alkaline phosphatases, etc. Such kind of a complex enzyme, they will be degrade the bond that is commonly present in this particular polymers. Then the enzyme will be excreted. Okay, and you can see, and once the compounds will be produced, the small molecular compounds will be produced, then what will happen? They can absorb, they can taken up this particular components. Okay, microorganism can take this small degraded components as a source of energy and carbon dioxide. So the intermediates are assimilated into the cells where they convert that thing into. So the plastic is degraded by using microbial attack. Microorganism produce certain extracellular enzymes. That enzyme will come and bind. They will depolymer enzymes such as hydrolyzers, lipases, alkaline phosphatases. They will depolymerize the components. Okay, these plastics, and what will happen? They degrade these components into simpler forms, and what will happen? These simpler forms utilized or degraded, taken up by the bacteria. Okay, and they will produce the carbon dioxide, hydrogen and other metabolic byproducts. So this is the overview of how plastic is degraded by the microbial attack. Okay, that is very important. This is a typical example. And somebody will ask them, what are the example, which are the microorganisms that can be used for the degradation of this synthetic polymer? There are a lot of microorganisms. Okay, this is again which I have taken from a book chapter. This is written by myself only, that it is published by Springer. Okay, so you can see in the internet also. So this one, the major types of that is bacteria, that is fungi and actino. Sorry, this is a spelling mistake, actino. Okay, I is missing. Okay, so actinomyces. Okay, so here the classification, that is bacteria, fungi and actinomyces. There are a lot of bacteria, Azinotobacter species, Arthrobacter, lot of Arthrobacter species, Bacillus amyloliquefaciens, Bacillus brevis, Bacillus ceres, Bacillus fumilis, Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, Delphia, Flavobacterium, Micrococcus. Okay, Mycoplasma. Okay, when Phenibacillus, Pseudomonas, lot of Pseudomonas species. Okay, Rachnella, another bacteria. Okay, Ralstonia. Okay, Rhodococcus. Okay, Staphylococcus. Okay, Xylosus. Okay, these are so many bacteria we can see they are degrading the synthetic polymers. Okay, then similarly fungi, Aspergillus niger, Aspergillus oryzus. Okay, ornithaceous. Okay, Aspergillus nidulin, Crematus, Aspergillus flavus, Aspergillus candidus. Okay, so many Aspergillus species. In addition, there are Penicillium, Cladosporium, Cephalosporium, Helminthosporium. Such kind of organisms are also present. Actinomyces. Okay, Amyclatopsis is the one of the most popular actinomyces. There are reports revealed that Streptomyces is also playing a very vital role. Even Nocardia also. So these are the major microorganisms. They plays a vital role in the degradation of the synthetic polymers. Okay. So dear students, that's all. Today we would like to conclude. Okay. So we have discussed about the overview of synthetic polymers, the major structural aspects of synthetic polymer, the household synthetic polymers, common types of synthetic polymers, especially low density and high density. When you're talking about low and high density polymers, they are plastics, plastic polymers, okay? And then the use of common synthetic polymers, okay? The biodegradation of synthetic polymer, the major mechanism we have discussed, mineralization, fragmentation, etc., etc., okay? Then similarly, the steps that is involved in the microbial degradation of synthetic polymers, especially low and high density polyethylene plastics, okay? Then the biodegradation mechanism of plastic, how it is happening, and the major microorganisms that do this particular task, okay? So this is all about this class today, dear students, and you can see these are the major textbook we are supposed to refer. So thank you very much for watching this particular class. If you are having any clarification, you can ask me, okay, and you can write it to me at any time. So thank you very much.